Hello and welcome to Talk of the Game. It's just finished West Ham United 0, Wolves 1. West Ham United have only lost 4 Premier League games in their history once, and that was under Avram Grant when we got relegated. We've just done it again today in the very last minute against the newly promoted side. Gonzo, let's take the first half as a whole. Your vlog will obviously have like a minute by minute analysis throughout the match, but this is post-match. We're still raw emotionally, if you like, but the whole first half, what did you make of it?
Well, the vlog will be pretty sparse in the first half because not an awful lot happened. We were sort of waiting for this attacking intent to come out. It didn't really happen. You had 2 cagey teams. I saw you at half time. You thought it was boring, not to pick your words what you were going to say, and it was. And they seemed to have 3 or 4 attacks that went about a foot wide of the post. And that was really them, and I thought we had one really good attack. So I would have to say the first half on a balance of play, they looked a little bit more threatening than we did, but it was a pretty dull game.
What about yourself, Tony?
Same as Gonzo, really, mate. To be honest, well, we had that explosive first 2 minutes, didn't we? I thought, hello, this is good. We had that, I thought, ooh, that petered out after 2.5 minutes. It was like the following 88 were a bit difficult. But no, the first half, basically, I think they were slightly the better sides. They were creating more chances. For the whole game, I was concerned about our wing backs. I was concerned predominantly with Ryan Fredericks. He struggled big time. They were attacking him down his side again and again, and then he couldn't pick a pass either. So I was majorly worried about both of our flanks. We looked wide open. So I was actually quite happy to be 0-0 at half time, to be honest.
Yeah, I said on your vlog, I thought we were playing like we were 2-0 up. I thought we were recycling possession, okay, in possession, but we weren't going anywhere fast. We seemed happily to keep the ball in our third, in the middle third, but we didn't seem to have much intent to get into the final third. And when we were there, we didn't seem to have much idea what to do with it, really. I thought it was like very pedestrian. I think that's what they describe it these days, as if you're a football pundit, they call it pedestrian. I thought Wolves were the better side. I thought they had a more clear game plan, get down the wings, and they were very quick at going from switching it from the right wing back to the left wing back. Very quick, one pass into the middle, one pass out. They were shifting our team about side to side, and we couldn't do that. We were going to Wiltshire, who would take 5 touches to do what Neves was taking 2 to do, and I thought this is slow, this is concerning. I thought Creswell was struggling. I know you said Fredericks. I thought Creswell was struggling, not because of his ability, just because he had too much to do. We had Antonio out there eventually, then Anderson had a shift out there, and then we finished the half with Snodgrass out there. And the fact that we were adapting to Wolves' game plan, not the other way around, was a concern for me. And if I was the manager of West Ham and said, this is not right, they're not adapting to us, we're having to adapt to them, that means they're on top, we've got to change something. And at half time we did, we brought Yarmolenko on for Snodgrass, which I thought was maybe predictable, but I thought it was harsh on Snodgrass. I thought he was one of the ones putting a shift in, and where we are, you can see Snodgrass in the first half clearly getting on at the players to push up, and he was demanding more from our team. Unfortunately, we didn't get more. The second half, Gonzo, was pretty much like the first half, apart from the last 90 seconds of the game.
Yeah, I agree, but also you talk about Snodgrass and the shift. I also think that's why Antonio was in there, to put the shift in. And unfortunately what we had him putting the shift in. We had Antonio, Snodgrass putting the shift in. We had Sanchez putting the shift in. And what we actually had were 2 guys that could pass the football in Wiltshire, albeit slowly, and as you say, recycle it slowly. And Anderson, who sometimes can pass the ball if he plays centrally in the pitch. In the middle of the pitch, sorry. So why this wasn't identified and dealt with at half time, I just don't know. I mean, certainly Tone was disappointed, if you speak to him now, where Yarmolenko was playing.
Yarmolenko at half time.
But as Tone will tell you, Yarmolenko was not being played. Yarmolenko, for me, from what I've seen, and it's limited from what we've seen, has a couple of step overs and he can dink the ball in. He chips it up, almost like a golf shot. So Yarmolenko is your guy, if you're slightly wide, who will sort of bamboozle the fullback and he'll chip it up high to the far post where somebody with a height of an Arnautovic or something can head it in. Yarmolenko was never in those positions. I don't know what he was asking him to do. Exactly, but when the guy that should have been in the middle was wide.
Yeah. What do you make of the second half, Tony? Was it much the same for you? I mean, I thought Wolves were maybe the one that had the upper hand, if you like.
I thought the second half was worse. It was more disappointing. Maybe not so much regarding the balance of play, because we did have a spell where we were taking it to them a little bit and the crowd got behind them a little bit. So not so much on the balance of play, but more I have some big worries about what's going through Pellegrini's mind, what he's seeing out there. I made the point during the vlog about there's a whiff of Bilic about it. You've got players. Like Gonzo just alluded to. You've got a 40 million pound player who's more comfortable in the middle, being shunted out onto the wing, where he's completely ineffective. He did nothing at all. And you've got Yarmolenko, who is probably better on the wing. In the middle, so they were almost neutralised. Now I don't know what the Wilshere substitution was all about, but Gonzo made a comment during the vlog about, there goes another passing player, basically. Again, these are all what is going through Pellegrini's mind. It's like, what is he seeing out there, and I'm worried about it, because Wolves' game plan is fairly simple, right? But they have a game plan, they have a shape, they have a purpose. The players know what they're doing. We don't. Right? That team looks like a Slaven Bilic team. Where I remember you saying it a long time ago, Gio, on one of the cup of teas, and you always said this, and it's absolutely bang on. If every week we end up with more questions than we have answers, we're going backwards, and we have more questions now than we did a week ago.
Yeah, I agree. There's no such thing as, I keep saying to you, no such thing as standing still in football. You're going backwards and forwards, and right now we're bottom of the table with no points after 4 games, so we can't claim we're going forwards. I think Pellegrini's problem, I feel like we're playing Man City tactics for West Ham players. I think that's the problem. I think we're waiting for David Silva to do something. We don't have David Silva. It feels like we're waiting for half a chance to fall to Aguero and he'll stick in there. We don't have an Aguero. Arnautovic got his chance today. He made it. He was the one that did the run, cut inside. Good save by Patricio. Not that he noticed it. I think it hit him in the head, but that was our half chance, and Snodgrass had a half chance at the end of the first half that hit the side net. But apart from that, I don't remember testing their defence. Never mind testing their goalkeeper. I don't remember testing their defence at all. They had an easy game today. It was an easy clean sheet for Wolves today. I thought they looked more comfortable in possession, the way they were moving it about. That concerned me. I thought when we got the ball, our first instinct was, can I go sideways rather than can I go forwards? With Wolves, it was like they knew, get the ball out wide. And it's no trick that Wolves' 2 subs were both their wide players. That's their tactics. Their wide players weren't doing it. I'm taking them off and I'm getting someone on. And lo and behold, the one player West Ham have been linked with for about 5 transfer windows, Gonzo, the pacey player, has acres of space there in the pitch. Bontani holds it up well, but he doesn't need to do much. He just has to wait, because he knows he's got the fastest player on the pitch running up beside him. He just has to wait, hold, pass it to him. Bang, goal, 1-0 Wolves. Would you say it was a deserved victory for Wolves at the end of the game?
I thought a draw would have been a fair result, I think, because I don't think anyone was outstanding. But there was no surprise that they won it, because they did have more attempts on goal. There was a point where the keeper got injured, and it was because Arnautovic had a shot. There was good build-up play involving Chicharito. It was too deep when he came on. If you're going to make the change and take the plunge, then put the striker in the box. Okay, so it was more positional mismanagement, let's say, from Pellegrini. But Arnautovic was in there. He had the shot. What worried me was, I was looking at Arnautovic and he was frustrated. In many respects, he got better service under David Moyes. We are not utilising David Moyes. Let's give him some credit. He turned him from a left winger into a centre forward. Having done that, he then decided and he fell upon or devised a system whereby he could feed Arnautovic to get him to score goals. Arnautovic was getting better service under David Moyes than he got under us, and I think that's a major contributing factor. We had very, very little opportunities to impact that game and affect the game and get the result. So was it deserved for Wolves? On the balance of play, I would suggest that was a deserved win for them. We were not the better team today.
No, would you agree with that, Tony? Would you think Wolves had the upper hand?
I put it this way: if that game would have finished 0-0, I would have said we nicked it, because they were just marauding down our flanks at will. They were shooting at our goalkeeper at will. Fabianski pulled off many, many good saves. They had goodness knows how many clean-cut chances, a clear header if I remember. One of them was right at Fabianski, but they had loads of chances. It could have been 3 or 4, to be honest. I would have thought 0-0 we'd have got out of jail, if I'm honest. So, yeah.
When I watched them play Man City last week, I remember saying on the preview, the thing that impressed me about Wolves, they get forward in numbers. They're not afraid to commit numbers. We did the complete opposite today. There's one point, 10 minutes ago, Creswell, he got a hard Yarmolenko was a lovely curve with the outside of his foot out to the left wing, but had a bit of pace on it. Creswell did well to get there and keep it in. He went down the line, crossed it. It was in the 6-yard box. It was the danger area. The keeper, it's too far for the keeper to go, but it's in between the keeper and the centre back. Nobody likes it in that. No Wolves player liked it in there. They all stood back because they didn't know what to do. Nobody claimed it. In the end, it was going through everyone. And Creswell was fuming. He was saying, "Why is no one in there?" And Arnautovic just looked at him and went, "Get your head up." But he shouldn't have to get ahead. He should be able to assume that when he's going down the line, someone is getting in the box. He should be allowed to assume that.
The 6-yard box man, Chicharito, where the bloody hell was he? I didn't mark where he was, but I remember that. Yeah, he put in a really good cross right into the danger area. Ball landed in loads of space, didn't it, if I remember correctly? And there was no one within. No one.
Nobody was there.
Creswell's job is get the ball in the danger area. He did that, but everybody was looking at Creswell saying, well, you've not done your job because none of us are there. But actually, it's your fault. Get in the danger area. And I just felt when he brought Hernandez on, I'm not convinced that Arnautovic-Hernandez partnership works up together. I think they're almost in each other's space a little bit. I think Arnautovic likes the space. I think he likes to go from left to right, move from centre back to centre back. Hernandez likes to be right in the middle. And when they're both there, neither of them can do what they want to do. And I feel like if you're going to put Hernandez on, you're going to have to drop Arnautovic back a little bit, whether it's a number 10 role, whether it's out on the left wing to go up against a fullback or something. I think he's got to do something. But it feels like today, it felt like we started the game with square pegs and square holes, but it felt like we ended it with square pegs and round holes somehow.
You're right. We actually, tactically, we went backwards, and I said that during the game. He's just throwing personnel onto the pitch. But I'll tell you what, though, for all of the tactics, for all of the performances, one thing that stood out like a bloody sore thumb for me was that Wolves worked harder. We were supposed to be the pressing team. Pellegrini does pressing apparently. He does high pressing, win the ball back quickly, and then attack. Fucking hell, the second half. I mean, a number of times we just stood off. We stood off them. They were doing the pressing. They were pressing us. They were winning the ball. They were doing all of the things that we thought that we were going to be doing. Yeah.
They had a game plan. We didn't, in my opinion. Gonzo, any individual players you'd like to praise or criticise?
Well, I'll praise Diop, who was our best player. Shame on us for our best player being a centre back at home.
I'm a 21-year-old as well. I think it's important that you remember that it's one of the most inexperienced players on the pitch is showing up the ones with vast amount of experience.
I'll say something positive about that. If anybody wonders about the benefit of playing players that are not in the first team in cup competitions like we did against Wimbledon, I thought it served Diop very, very well, because I thought there was a time when we were doing... Maybe we were sort of floundering a little bit against Wimbledon. He grabbed the ball by the horns. He put in that shot, and then 5 minutes later, he crashed a header onto the bar. And I thought he stepped up then and said, "Hold on, pick me." And it does show that the cups can have some benefit. So today he was good, but I don't want to sit here talking about our best players being centre backs and a keeper who, of course, did well. And do you know what? If you play fantasy football and you've got Fabianski in your fantasy football team, your stats are going to show, I think it's if he makes 5 saves, you get an extra additional point or whatever. Your stats are going to show that he made 5 saves today. And that is just not good at all. In terms of, I'm going to scratch the record. I'm going to be a scratch record in terms of who's played poorly, because I just thought Anderson... We started off at the start of the season playing Anderson wide. We then saw what happens if you play him centrally. Having seen what happens where he can drive and run at defenders and create space, he drives into where there's space and then play passes. We then decide to play him wide again. I'm completely flummoxed by this. It's almost like, Pellegrini, we've paid top dollar for Pellegrini. Top dollar. We're paying him 10 million. He's the 3rd highest paid manager in the Premier League, unless I'm mistaken. If I'm wrong, he'll be the 4th. But I'll tell you what, I've not got it so wrong that he's the bottom paid manager. He is extremely highly paid. The top clubs will pay more. Juventus will pay more. Real Madrid will pay more, but he is paid a comparable amount. He will be one of the top 10 highest paid managers in world football. I'll tell you what, it's like we've paid for Pep Guardiola and we've ended up with David Moyes, but worse, who can't feed Arnautovic. He needs to come up with a tactical plan.
I think that's harsh on Pellegrini. Actually, I think some of the players are letting him down. Tony, is there any players you'd like to praise or criticise? Up to yourself.
So I agree with Chris. But Diop played really, really well. Obviously, Arnie, he huffed and puffed. He showed some moments of class. And regarding letting the manager down, I think yes they are. There's some poor performances in there, but I still think that the whole thing is suffering because of a complete lack of shape and plan. I think for a player to express himself with confidence and enthusiasm, football's about confidence. You know that. And when you can pick a pass without even looking and knowing that your teammate's going to run onto it, vice versa, that it breeds confidence in the whole thing. So I'm not sure. I actually agree with Gonzo. I think Pellegrini's made some perplexing decisions strategically so far. I know it's early days, and I think I've always said, look, 10, 12 games, give the guy a chance, give him some time. However, from that first game to that 12th game, you expect to see some kind of linear upward curve of progression, right? So you're expecting to see something to grab hold of and say, actually, you know what? We've made progress in this area, I felt that, even though we lost to Arsenal, I felt that was the case. This is suddenly the line's gone down again. You know, that's the concern.
Yeah, today I'm disappointed but not surprised. There's a big difference between the two, and the difference is a concerning difference. I'm not surprised we lost that at the last minute. When Traore came on, I said to Beck, oh, here they go, they're bringing on the fastest boy on the pitch when we're tired. You know, you could just see what was going to happen. And the fact is, we gave him so much space. We've not seen a replay, obviously, but he seemed like he could have took 10 touches if he wanted to before he fired that shot in. I thought Diop was fantastic today. I think he's going to get the man of match from all three of us. I'm not even going to do man of matches. I thought Sanchez played well. I actually thought he did his role, but the problem is the guy next to him, Wiltshire, didn't. I thought he was poor again today. I'm expecting more from Wiltshire. If you're going to come here and be paid $100,000 a week, I expect you to be a head and shoulders above Snodgrass, Antonio, Fredericks, Creswell. I expect you to be 8 out of 10 every week. If you're going to be paid $100,000 a week, you know, at Arsenal, you can get away with those types of performances because that's the average wage. At West Ham, that's not. That's top dollar. I expect top dollar performances, and Average is doing it every week because he's paid that. I expect it from Wiltshire as well. I'm yet to see it this season. Today, I thought he was poor. I can understand why Pellegrini took him off. For Obiang, not so sure. I thought he could have made an attacking attempt move, maybe dropped Anderson deep. We've seen against Wimbledon, Anderson come on there. While it's not his natural, it gave him the space. It gave him 3 touches to get his head up and find which attacker he wanted to play against. Could have worked today. Don't know, but I would have liked to have seen us try something. It just felt like we were bringing on Obiang and it was a bit more defensive than offensive, and I think that probably gave Wolves a little bit of confidence. Oh, hang on, they're sitting back now. It's almost like they've had their offensive moment, they don't fancy it, now they're going to retreat a little bit. And you said you would have been happy with the draw. I actually think Pellegrini would have been happy with the draw at the end of that game today. I don't think the Wolves manager would have been. I think he would have thought they created enough to get all 3 points. But Pellegrini would not be able to sit there in a conference and say, we're unlucky to come away at that point today. He would not have been able to say that. No. So I'm disappointed. Me and Gonzo will be doing a mini cup of tea tomorrow morning. We're staying in the Moxie Hotel tonight, which we have a deal about. We'll tell you about that in another video. So we'll be up later in the week. We've got an international break now. West Ham are going in. Bottom of the table, 4 defeats out of 4. It's only happened once when we got relegated. 2 weeks, it's going to be a long 2 bloody weeks as well. But Gonzo, any final words before we disappear?
No, I think I'll save it for the next video, but this is, which we'll do tomorrow, I think this is going to require more than gentle tinkering to sort this out though.
Tony, any final words?
Well, I got a question for you two boys actually. Is this a crisis or is it too early?
No, I mean, listen, we identified this after a couple of games, Tone. Oh, you know, whoever did. I took massive amounts of stick yesterday for saying I thought West Ham were going to lose. And listen, I get a lot wrong, but, I said I thought West Ham were going to lose today because I'd not seen enough to suggest that we were better than Wolves, and Wolves were better than us today. So other people need to look at that. I don't mean other people generally, but I mean people in the coaching staff need to look at it and work out what we're doing wrong. I'd say it shouldn't take, without being funny, a plumber to look at it and think that Anderson is too far wide. I do expect slightly better tactical acumen from the people paid 10 million a year.
So Jeremy Paxman head, yes or no, is it a crisis?
Don't give me all that, Tom.
No,
don't give me all that.
I don't think it is. There's 4 games in. There's 34 to go. You said 10 to 12 games. I think that's the right time. That's when you start to really look at your team. Pellegrini needs time. It's his 5th game. He won Wimbledon.
Can I just say, he's going nowhere. Okay, we need his system to work. He's not going to get paid off. We need to learn to live with him.
The players need to learn to play his system.
They do.
Wilshere needs to learn how to take 3 touches and not 5 for a start. He needs to look at Neves today and think, I need to play like that, because we got embarrassed today in some patches. They didn't outplay us, but there was a couple of individual performances for Wolves compared to our players on our pitch where we got embarrassed a little bit. You know something, if you showed this game to an alien and said what side just got promoted, they would say West Ham. West Ham's just come up this season.
So I have one more question. So regarding our record signing, what's the future? What does the future hold for him? I mean, if he keeps playing him on the wing, is he going to peter out? Is it going to cost us points? I mean,
we'll answer that in the cup of tea. We need to wrap this review up. We'll answer that in the cup of tea, Tony. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Let us know what you think in the comments below as well. That's been Gonzo, that's been Tony, I've been Joe, we've been Hammer Chat. West Ham are bottom of the table. No points after 4 games. We'll see you soon.
Come you Iron.